All right, class.
Yes.
Okay, I know we're not playing with their phones right now. We're trying to go over and do our notes. So there's no one right now in front of me texting right now.
Are you sending her out to YouTube?
To YouTube? Yeah, I'll throw her in front of the bus for YouTube.
Say her
All right.
name. Say her
Go
government.
ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Say her
listen up.
government name.
All right, so for my table of contents, what am I writing here for the table of contents?
The date.
Reviewing slope formula, and today's date is
19.
18th. Okay, so all this stuff is already done here for you, but I'm going to go through and actually talk about this. Where the slope formula, listen up. All right, the slope formula is always the rise over the run. So my formula looks like this. This is the formula that I'm going to be using. So when I'm looking at my coordinates, I'm going to be given two coordinates, and it's going to be x2, comma, y, that's a y, dang it, 2, and I'm going to have x1, comma, y1. So I'm going to have my 2 points, my two coordinates of x and y, so I have two different points here. So on this problem right here, I have my x1, y1, x2, y2. So from this right here, I'm going to have to use this formula. This formula is going to be y2 minus y1. So my slope, which is normally referred to with the letter m, is going to be my rise over run. It's my delta y over delta x. So right here, so y2 minus y1. So it's going to be 12, which is my y2, minus 2, over my x2 minus x1. So my x for my second is going to be 6, minus 1. So right here, I'm going to end up with 12 minus 2 is 10, 6 minus 1 is 5. My slope is going to be 2 over 1. Now, by reading this, my rise over run, my rise goes up and down. My run only goes to the right because we read from left to right. So it's always going to go left to right here. But the rise can go up or down. So this means that it's going to go up, right? It's going to go up to right 1. Okay? So what would happen if this is negative? What would it mean if it's negative? Goes down. This is up or down, right? So if it's negative, it would be going down, but it would still be going to the right. So reading from left to right, it's going to go from here to here, it would be going down. This one, if you notice, is going up, right? So it has a positive slope of 2 over 1. All right, now on this problem right here, same formula. Same formula. So this one right here, I have to find some points on here. So a couple points that I'm going to have, I have to pick them out first. I have to pick out the points that I'm going to use. So what point do you want to use here? What point do I want to use? 0, 3, thank you. 0, 3 is a very good point. And I have to have 2 points. Find me another point. 0, negative 2. Not on the same line. I need to find another one on line A.
0. What?
See this? This is line A, right?
Yeah.
I need another point on here.
Oh, 1, 4.
1. It's not really going to be 1, 4 here. It doesn't go through exactly. It's slightly off.
Negative 4, 0.
Negative 4, 0. That's another good one right there. Negative 4, 0. All right, so let's take a look. So I'm going to label my points. So this is my first point, and this one's my second point. First point and second point. So going from the formula, so it's y2. So what is the y value from the second point? 3. So it's 3 minus, what is y from my first point? Over. What is x from my second point?
0.
Minus, what is x from my first point?
-4.
So this on top is going to give me 3 over
4.
4. Very good. So there's that slope. Right? Okay, so now let's do the same thing for line B. I'm going to do the same thing for line B. So find some points.
0, -2.
0, -2. That's a good one. Another one?
3, 0.
3, 0. Very good. So this is going to be point 1 and this is going to be point 2. So what is y from the second point? 0. Minus, what is y from the first point? -2. Very good. Over. What is x from the second point? X from the second point is 3. Minus x from my first point?
0.
So this one right here, I'm going to end up with 2 over 3. Now it's asking a question. What are the slopes of lines A and B? So I'm going to add something to this notes right here. So parallel lines have something. What do parallel lines have?
Slopes.
What about them?
Then,
We talked about it way back when in first semester. What about their slopes? Say. No, not scale factor. Equal. How would I say that? Parallel lines have same slope.
slope.
That's what we're looking for. So parallel lines have same slope.
Oh. It wasn't that long ago we talked about that.
Yeah. So for some people, if it was more than yesterday, it's far too long.
A million years ago.
No, a lot of people just do that many drugs that they forget everything each day. So every day is brand new. I'm not implying anyone in here would do that though. I know YouTube knows our terrible secret. I know, right? Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing again over here for C and D. So find some points for C. Find some points on line C.
0.
That's not a good point. 1, 7.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's a good one. So 1, 7, and 4, 6. So this is going to be my first point, and this one's my second point. So I'm going to kind of go up here and use this area up here, because I'm kind of out of paper on this. All right, so what is y from the second point?
6.
6, very good. Minus, what is y from the first point?
7.
Over. What is x from my second?
4.
Minus 1, which is going to give me -1 over 3. So that one's going to be my line C, right? Okay, so now let's do it again for line D. So for line D, I got to find a couple good points. 5, 1. What's another point?
What about 6, 4?
6. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good one. All right, so this is going to be 0.1. That's going to be 0.2. Okay, so now what is y from the second point? 4 minus over.
6 minus 5.
Very good. 6 minus 5, which is going to give me
3 minus.
3 over 1, right? Okay. So this next thing, I need to give you a little write-in for this. So perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines have, so this one's going to fill in a couple lines here. We did talk about this, but I will refresh your memory. It's going to be opposite, reciprocal, slopes. So they're opposite reciprocal slopes. So now let's talk about those things. Opposite. So this one is negative, so this one over here has to be positive. Okay, so those are my opposites, right? So right here, I'm looking at these two things. So they're opposite, aren't they? Now, what does the word reciprocal mean?
To flip.
Flip it over, right? The fraction flips over. So as the fraction, this is 1 over 3. Is this flipped over? Yes, it is. Now they are opposite and they're reciprocal, aren't they? So are they perpendicular? So what am I going to say over here? Yes. And over here, are these two right here parallel? Look at them. Look at the two slopes. Say no.
No.
So I'm going to say these are not parallel.
They look parallel.
I know they look parallel. It's close. It's close, but that's the reason why we have to do the math just to prove that they're parallel or not. Okay? So, questions over that?
Oh, you said with the perpendicular line. You said what flips?
Okay. The fraction. See this right here? This is 1 over 3, right? So, if you flip over 1 over 3, flip over the fraction, you get 3 over 1, right? So, is this 3 over 1? Yeah, that is 3 over 1. Okay, so they're opposite and they're flipped over. So that is true. So that is yes, perpendicular. Okay? Alright, so let's take a look at our practice real quick. Then I will let you go with what you're doing. So here it is. This is going to be page, page number. This one was supposed to be 73. And this one's going to be a 72. So, look, it's just like I had on my graphs. And now on these ones right here, it doesn't give you a graph, it just asks you to do the math. Just find the slope. So here's my x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, you're going to have to do the math on that. Make sense?